Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a process that is, no joke, one of the hidden engines of our modern world. It's happening all around us, behind the scenes, making countless things you use every single day. So, let me just start with a quick question. What on earth could your breakfast cereal, the puffy, crunchy stuff, have in common with the plastic bumper on your car? I mean, they couldn't be more different, right? Well, believe it or not, the answer is this really cool manufacturing process called twin screw extrusion. It's the secret ingredient, the essential link that turns all sorts of raw materials into the finished products we can't live without. And when I say it's a hidden engine, I'm not exaggerating. This one piece of technology is a cornerstone of modern manufacturing, quietly shaping our world in ways you probably never even thought about. Now you might be thinking, okay, but is this the only way to do this? Well, not exactly, but there's a very good reason the twin screw method totally took over. Compared to the older, single screw way of doing things, the advantages are just massive. For one, it's way more versatile. It can handle a ton of different materials. It's also way more efficient. And, maybe most importantly, the quality of the final product is just so much better because everything gets mixed together perfectly. And because it's so much better, it has completely changed the game for entire industries. We're talking polymers and plastics, obviously, but also things like large-scale food production and even rubber manufacturing. The impact is just incredibly broad. Okay, so that leads us to the big question, right? How does this industrial beast actually work? Let's pop the hood and break down what's really going on inside this machine. Honestly, the best way to wrap your head around it is with this analogy. Just picture the world's most sophisticated kitchen mixer. Now mash that together with a pressure cooker and then add a pasta maker at the end. That's basically it. That's a twin screw extruder, just, scaled up to a massive industrial level. So if we want to get a little more formal about it, twin screw extrusion, or TSE for short, is a continuous process. What that means is it uses two screws that mesh together inside a barrel. They turn and turn, and their whole job is to mix, combine, and then shape raw materials into a totally uniform, super high-quality product that comes out the other end. So let's trace the journey of the materials as they go through this thing. First, the raw ingredients get fed into the machine. Step 2, those big screws get to work, mixing and blending everything together really intensely. Third, and this part is critical, is a step called devolatilization. It's basically a purification stage that pulls out any unwanted moisture or gases. And finally, that perfectly mixed material gets pushed through a shaped opening called a die, and that's what creates the final product. The whole thing is just one smooth, continuous operation. But here's the thing, just owning one of these machines isn't the whole story. Getting the absolute most out of it is a real science. It's all about optimizing for peak performance. You have to realize, this isn't just a simple on-off machine. It's a living, breathing, dynamic system. Even the tiniest little adjustments to the process can have these huge cascading effects on the final product and the efficiency of the whole line. And these four things are the main levers that the operators are constantly playing with. They're always watching and tweaking the temperature inside that barrel, the pressure that's building up, the flow rate of the material moving through, and what's called the shear rate, which is really just how intensely everything is getting mixed. It's this delicate dance to get every single variable just right. So why obsess over all those little details? Well, because getting them right translates directly into real business results. When you fine-tune that process, you improve the quality of the melted material. You make sure every single product is consistent, you cut down on waste and energy bills, and at the end of the day, you make the whole operation more efficient. But, of course, this is the real world, right? Things don't always go according to plan. And that's where being an expert at troubleshooting comes into play, because keeping that machine running is absolutely critical. This kind of gives you a peek inside the mind of an experienced technician. If they see a symptom, let's say the product quality is all over the place or the output is surging, they immediately know the checklist in their head. Is the temperature stable? Is the feed rate steady? Is the screw speed correct? They can zero in on the root cause super fast. And when you're talking about high-volume manufacturing, that skill, solving problems on the fly, is everything. I mean, every single minute that production line is down, you're losing money. So by cutting down on downtime, you are directly jacking up your efficiency. Okay, so let's tie all this technical stuff together and talk about what really matters to a business. Let's talk about the impact on the bottom line. First things first, a well-run, optimized twin screw extrusion process means a huge jump in productivity. Plain and simple, you make more stuff and you make it faster. And on the flip side of that coin, all that expertise in operations and troubleshooting,
That leads to a massive drop in downtime. The machine is making product when it's supposed to be, not just sitting there waiting to be fixed.
And when you put those two things together, way more productivity and way less downtime, the result is obvious. Your profitability goes up. Mastering this process makes for a much healthier and more competitive business. It's really that simple.
So, that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. For decades, twin screw extrusion has been this incredible engine powering manufacturing. But as we look to the future, as scientists invent materials that are smarter, stronger, and more complex than ever, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What amazing new frontiers is this hidden engine going to unlock for us next?